get too mad about it because I know what the fuck. I know everything. I know some of the things that can lead into take a knee, half shit full training because I got all them youngins trying to get to the threshold.
Motherfucking live. I don't want to save the watch, nigga. I want to share, bitch.
I'll just join the 2 o'clock. Take both my
I know. I'm a handle. I just got you while I got you. You know what I mean? I got you while I got you. Yep. Real talk show
came back
team
and played
time.
Los last night. I didn't want to.
Ravens live.
Ravens live. I'm gonna start that thing off. Ravens live. Ravens live. Ravens live.
Oh, don't judge me, Anton.
Don't judge me, Anton.
Walmart MVP of the league.
Oh shit. Is that what I just heard?
Damn.
Get in my bag right now. Let me get in my bag.
Man, we back to a quarterback league. It's 4 quarterbacks in the top 5, man. Yeah. Got 3 running backs. Like that though, man. In the top 10. A lot of quarterbacks in the top 10. We gonna gotta talk about that, ain't?
We're going right to that. You already know we're going right to that.
Right
Right
to
to it. We're going right
we
to
going
that.
there first.
Right away. We're
It's
going right to
Walmart.
that. Right away. We going right to that. We going right to that. Fuck that. Coach of the year, Cliff Kingsbury. Yo, why they don't like John Harbaugh, bro? What do John Harbaugh got to do to get a Coach of the Year award, bro? I mean, we had the nation's #1 offense and the country's #1 defense. Scored the most
Hey,
points
y'all.
since the
Hey,
Cardinals year one. What do we got to do for John Harbaugh to win the fucking Coach of the Year?
crazy shit. The Bucks not even on the Coach of the Year
This
award.
shit crazy.
God damn,
This shit
that's tough.
crazy, bro. You don't know
That's
what
what's
Madden you
crazy
asking
right
for.
there.
Well, shout out to Cliff Kingsbury for the Coach of the Year of the 26th season. Annual 2026 awards. Coach of the Year goes to Cliff Kingsbury and Coach Falky, man. Hope you feel better, Cliff. You know you've been down and out. Let's get
Keep your
to.
ass out the chat, man. We don't want to see no more. We don't want to see your ass in the chat. I heard you was posting pics in the chat.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
I ain't see it, but I heard.
Hey, that
Shout out
young.
to them cards, man.
Hey, when you look at the 2026 annual awards, man, we skipped the main one to come back to that while we at the award show right now. Know what I mean? You got to come back to the award show, but we're going to go right to the AFC Offensive Player of the Year, and that shit goes to C.J. Cummins, the
Man,
first round pick a few drafts ago, man. That guy balled out all year long, man. He took the
not just the first
AFC
round pick, the first pick in the draft. Is
in
this?
the
This is
draft.
man, computer pick or not? This is probably one of the. I have to say this is one of the best first picks in the draft, man. To come right just to see what he's done. His time in the league and short time in the league, he's made a.
How about
This is
the
a big impact player.
He said, how about the 16 packages? This is the G5, not a challenger. That's what he said coming up with that bit. CJ Cummins, dog. Listen, when you got the first overall pick in the draft, and most people would be like, running back, no, first overall pick, they still don't realize that this man was the 4th best player in the draft that year. And all he's doing is showing when you get the piece you need, it's something about your roster. Like when you grab that puzzle piece and the computer is telling you that's your need, and you get that need, your line start blocking better. Your team start playing better. And Cummings, man, I don't like the last name, Pauls. CJ is the #1 player in the AFC this year. He wins that award. We don't have to go to number 2, 3. We ain't guessing no more. We know who the award winner is. So how about that NFC style over there? Damn, Snake. Najee was holding it down all year. Newman and Saquon jumped over top of him.
Man,
What happened, bro? You start throwing that football. I know I watched that Steelers game. You was flinging that thing a little bit, baby. That Leftwich kid was out there like, hold up, man. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. I'm showing you what's coming later on, cuz. We can do this thing, cuz. That's what I don't know. But Saquon Barkley earned it, bro.
He
He's
balled.
back.
Need one of them teams in the playoffs. So, but shout out to the Giants and Saquon and all his plays in the NFC this year. Nigga, Saquon had a definite resurgence over here, man.
Are you
I
saying
think he
that
got to get
Madden
his
is
coach.
showing love to those that didn't make it, pick some of their players in this award
I
race?
think I ain't win.
You going in and out,
Giants
cuz.
organization. Got to give shout out to the Giants
Live
organization, man.
Dolphins broadcast
Brought
by
Saquon
choice.
Barkley back to life, bro. I can't take nothing away from that man.
Listen, man, the Giants grabbed his nuts and said, "Fuck it, this is my team. I get an off season. I get to my second off season. We ready to go." And Saquon is going to be the bell
Chiefs.
cow of that situation. And right now, he look, man, NFC Player of the Year offensively. Shout out
Hey,
to Saquon
shout out to
fucking Barkley.
Saquon.
Flat out. Now let's look at
Mm-mm-mm.
the defensive side of things. This kid been 30 sacks this year. Best defensive lineman in the league. Both sides, AFC and NFC,
Man,
man. At one point, he was up for the MVP award race. He was on the list. Mark Barlow, Los, Coach
man.
Los, and those Minnesota Vikings out here. They found them one, man. They got them a guy that can control the edge for their defense, man. They don't just got him. They got that diaper dandy over there, Tap over there as well. But Mark Barlow went crazy. He held off likes of Chase Young, Barno, and Montez Sweat this year. I mean,
And
he
you
held
gotta
them
give
off.
him big props over there, man. These Vikings done found him one. We saw this kid Barlow growing last year. And man, this defensive player race in the NFC at any week it could have been a number. You could have probably taken 8 or 9 different players and they would have been up here, man.
Not,
And Barlow,
outside of the Cowboys, you can honestly go down a little farther and say 10.
Here's
Like I
Mike
would
I
say
Vick.
the
mean,
top 9. I don't like Kelvin Joseph. I'm sorry.
right?
It was
I
computer love.
don't.
I just don't like that him being there. All right. That just tells me D West got some ballers over there that when he does start
But
playing his games is on. But these top 9, the 9 that's in this right here,
somebody
you
was up
right,
here
bro.
at some
Every
point of the
week.
season, any point of the week. So I just think that this DFC, when we talk about defense, like man, this NFC has a lot to offer over here. Any one of these players was up here at one point at the top of the week in the defensive player of the year, man.
I think
That's
this
why I
is
think this is a
telling us
great
something,
award
man.
for the Vikes, man.
Yeah, this is telling us something, bro.
This is
This
big.
is telling us something, bro. Look at the names that Mark Barlow has championed. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You got Chase Young sitting here, man. Barno, who's up and coming, man. They calling him the baby of Dolph Aowe. Montez Sweat is on this list. Look, the guy that you hope, the guy, when you said this, I'm going to go get my big boys up front on the defensive line. And then when I come back, they better not let this guy be sitting here. Since you drafted this Russell Hunter, you knew something about him in that draft. And you was able to still get him. Guys went right past him. You
Analyst Buck
snagged him.
Yeah.
Monson.
And since he's been on the Bucks team, he's been in this award race.
Alabama product, man. Got them ties to Alabama. You know, the
Hmm.
Bears had 2 safeties up the top of this list
Man, you got the
most of the
best
year,
name in the
and
league.
rumor has it,
Best name in the league. You know what
Aaron
I'm
Donald,
saying? He balled out
best D line in
again.
the
I mean, you can't never go with old man
Brisker.
Donald. Like this is the guy that just look. When it comes down to Aaron Donald, this is what you got. This is my take on Aaron Donald. Like, bro, I get it, man. You the Tom Brady of defense. I understand it now. I finally understand it now. Like you can't take away a ring of a guy that's like, look, man, I am who I am, and I ain't slowing down. It's almost like he just got all treads on his tires still. Like his tires is Michelin, boy. He ain't playing no fucking games out here. You're not gonna go bald. We're not gonna wear down. I'm still the best defensive lineman in the league, and it seems
Not
like
only
that,
that,
man.
biggest thing I'm gonna say about Donald, man, you know this. Look, we bought in a
Chris.
replacement, we drafted 2 replacements, and he still
Hmm.
held his spot down. So
Yep.
wasn't
That's a
giving it
first
up.
ballot Hall of Famer. When you get a player
Oh,
like that,
definitely.
bro, first ballot Hall of Famer. Simple as that.
Mm.
Jaquan Brisker, my Penn State guy. This is one of my favorite players
One
that
of the
came out of
top
that
DBs in the
draft. He's
league.
definitely one of the top DBs in the league, though. But the up and coming man. Anytime you see a kid in the league with the last name Israel, you know something special about him. This is one of the best cover linebackers in the league right here. This linebacker is like a DB, man. He just get the job done. Like I mean. I think his last performance against the Giants, he had 3 picks in that game. Like And what he does is he gives you a true linebacker at the sub linebacker level where you don't lose in the run game. So like you can't inside zone this Washington football team, right? Because you can't get to the edges on Sweat and Chase. And then if you coming up the middle, you already got Allen big ass, and then you what's the Bear Wiggins sitting in the middle, and
There
then they
Wiggins.
just eat up blocks, and then Julian and fucking Barack Obama, what's his name,
New
or
sheriff in
Barack
town.
Obama over there.
Man,
They
we
just
know
go the
we
fuck
know
off.
this
Low,
team.
low.
We know they don't make a lot of trades, so they draft and develop players. They always got veterans around and on there, and
Second.
just people like so. You're not getting a lot of the goofy stuff off in this team. You, Julian Jones, man, this whole like I say, I think this whole defensive player of the year on the NFC side is
It's
man,
fucking
this is
crazy.
an impressive list. It's crazy because any one of them
Yeah.
could have won.
Yep. And Mark
Check his
Barlow,
abs,
they just tweeted out
all
Mark
the way with it.
Barlow. It was just a tweet that just said there's a new sheriff in town. Hold up, boy. Let's read this tweet. New
Okay.
sheriff in town. Donald, sit down somewhere. Laughing out loud. Let's go. That Mark Barlow ain't playing right now,
Oh
but
yeah.
we gotta give him his
Oh
props
yeah.
right now. He did reach the 30-30
Look.
club with 30 sacks this year, man. The sacks was down this year, and he still came up with 30 of them.
That's impressive, man. Got to get them Vikes a shout out, man. Great. Hey,
Hmm.
making them picks. Like sometimes this guy's making them top picks, and he ain't got no top 5 pick this year. He might not even be in the top 10, man. We see them
Yes,
Vikings
the
making
fuck
some
he
moves.
is.
Vikings, you've been put on notice, man. We're
It's a,
looking for you to
it
take
ain't
that next step, bro.
it ain't
Right
a lot
now.
of one-loss, two-loss teams in this league, man. He's
Hey.
sitting in that top 10 still. That's why he
Oh,
lost to the
he's
Bears.
number 10. Oh, he's
Yep.
number 10. Oh,
I
yeah.
said it.
I
I
mean,
said it. He
okay.
lost to the Bears. He didn't want to win that game.
Okay.
I said it.
Okay.
Tell me I'm
Gotcha.
lying. No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying I'm just saying what I was
Defense
told,
I
continues.
cuz.
feel you.
I'm just saying what
I
I was
got you.
told, cuz. All right, so look, I mean, let's just keep
10
on talking a
Astros.
little bit. You know, Max know where he at. He said he at 10. Max know where
Max know it.
everybody picks is
Oh,
at right now,
he
bro.
had
He
10
know
by he had 10
everybody
by
team.
choice, huh, Max? He
Well,
had 10
yeah.
by choice right now, huh, Max? Man, he
Now,
still got to give him a shout out, man. Good.
mm,
Hey, I like the direction the Vikings is heading into over there, and it starts with that interior, man. Mark Barlow, man. Might be
man,
one of the
listen,
greatest. That's a great pick. Great development.
Down the stretch, the Vikings made business decisions for their GM, man. They said he's on the line right now, and they want to know. They said, you know what, we're gonna give you one more year of you being able to draft in that top 15, and then after that, man, you better show us this roster turnover is worthy of of a fight for the division. I think the Vikings have a ride, bro. I think they're here. Anytime you got a guy screaming off the edge like that, you got a young diaper dandy that's on his way to screaming off the edge like that. They can run a football. They got a great receiver core. I mean, I still think Jet should be traded before he's past his prime. I think they can afford to get rid of him as a receiver and maybe get them some more picks
Rose is my
and go
dog. He
crazy in
got
this
it.
year's draft, which is a great draft. But I'm gonna say it like
Oh
this:
man.
if I'm him, I'm trying to move Jetta the fuck up out the building because you got Clayton that stepped up. You got the receiver core that can play now. You can get rid of a guy like that. I think this team is a ride. And then they got my boy
Donald
Hanif Anderson
saying
over there
time to
as
sit
well.
down
So
playoffs time
maybe
smiling face with
maybe this
sunglasses
Vikings
smiling
team is
face with
looking to turn that
sunglasses
corner right
smiling
now,
face
man.
with
Shout out to Mark
sunglasses.
Barlow, 30 sacks
Definitely
this year.
Blueberry
developing some
smiling
players
face
over
Yes,
with
there, man.
sir.
sunglasses
Yes,
This is
sir.
a
smiling
Yes,
hell of
face
sir.
with sunglasses
a
smiling
W for the
face with
Vikings.
sunglasses
It's just
smiling
it's a
face
lot
with
of teams that's looking for
sunglasses.
players like this, and for the Vikings to move on from Danielle Hunter and to draft a guy and actually take the time and develop him, and now see it flourish and come into play. That plan work out. I mean, you're not just it just shows some things. We show the Vikings having some growth and not just trading just to be trading. You're seeing some stuff work out, man.
Trevor.
And
I like it.
if you go back to that Hunter trade, man, before he traded Hunter, he had two defensive edge rushers that was in the top five every year up until he traded Hunter. Or if you remember that, the Vikings had two
Yep.
defensive linemen and they got rid of them and they reset it and they finally found their guys, man. I think it's just one of those franchises that that are known for good pass rushers. They got a couple of Hall of Famers that came out of Minnesota as pass rushers. So I think Mark Barlow is trying to be that next guy right now, man. And the fact that he won this award is big time. Again, in a year where the sack totals are down, he balled out and
He
got
went
to that
up.
30-30 club. So that's what's up. That's
Word.
definitely what's up. All right. Defensive player of the year in the AFC, man. These guys went
AFC,
crazy.
man.
Look, we're gonna
East,
talk about like because to me,
man.
the first three could have won this award at length. But what happens is, let's just like I'm gonna talk some facts here. I'm not looking at this list as I'm looking at the NFC. I think the NFC
NFC
list is
list.
way more impressive. But I will say this: we got way more DBs on this list, and that's just a testament to what's going with the. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is schedule based. Let's just keep it 100. This is schedule based. All right, Tyrone Elam, fucking. I mean, we saw that last year with Isaiah Palomalo, where he had damn near 25 interceptions last year, 24 or something like that. Um, and it was the schedule. And no disrespect to my AFC South guys, but when you have those guys on your schedule,
Lions.
you should be sending people to the Pro Bowl, and you should be in the award conversation. And I think Tyrone Elam and Boykins, Boykins do a lot more sub linebacker. First of all,
Seahawks.
I don't know if I'm going the fact that Tyrone Elam should be winning this award. Me personally, I think Boykins should win this award, and here's why. Snake, if you go over there to the stats while I'm talking about this without me
We'll look
looking
at
at
these
it, I already
stats
took
right
a
quick,
deep dive.
man.
The one thing that
Okay.
stand out to me with Boykins, I mean, Elam probably had, I know they just played the Browns, so I'm quite sure he had about 3 or 4 picks in that game with both of them probably. But I know they 23 picks, 20 or something like that. Boykins might got like 20, but Boykins got 8 touchdowns. Boykins got 8 touchdowns. That means he either scooped up a fumble or picked it off and took pick sixes to the crib 8 times this year. I think that right there would have been enough to give him the award, right? I ain't
Boykin
quite
should.
sure.
I'm just going through their stats briefly, real quick, man. Boykin should have probably won this award hands
Yeah,
down.
hands down.
This really might be the first overturn that we have in here, because Boykin's 104 tackles, Elam 99, Boykin's 11 tackles for loss, Elam 4, a sack and a half for Boykins, Elam 0. Elam has 23
Stop
picks,
there. Stop
Boykin
there.
has
Stop
20.
there. Stop there. Here's why the tackle for loss game is a little different. Elam is back deep. Boykins is
And
at the sub
Boykins
linebacker.
in the sub.
All right, so you take that into account. Now
All
let's
right.
get to the interceptions now.
Interceptions 23 and 20, but that's
Mm-hmm.
Elam has that by 3. They both have
Mm-hmm.
2 deflections.
Mm-hmm.
Boykin has a forced fumble. Elam has a fumble recovery. But I just start and stop at that conversation right there. Elam 1 touchdown, Boykin 8 touchdowns,
That's the game right
and
there. That
that's
should
it's
give him
no
that
way in the
award.
world. There's no way in the world Elam should be defensive player of the year. So I just think I think we gotta get us. I think we gotta do a Game of Thrones overthrow. This might be the first time in history, man. I think Boykin need to be defensive player of the year over there. To be honest, it ain't. I
Yeah,
don't
bro.
understand Madden on this one,
Yeah,
bro.
I just don't. I just think they counted the interceptions more than
Right?
anything else. But like when you get your get your team 8 touchdowns, you balling. And I agree. I think Connor Boykins
Yeah.
deserved that
Just
defensive player of the year award
with
like for sure. Like it
with
ain't
that
even no
being
ifs ands or
said,
buts.
just like we just talked about the Vikings busting their little funky dope moves, the Steelers, man, you gotta get the Steelers a shout out. They let go of some big name vets over here, and the likes of a Najee, a Watt, a Fitzpatrick, and they got 2 of their young
Lions.
gunners right up here at the top of the defensive player. I mean, this is how you want to see things pan out when you
Hmm.
GMing and stuff. I don't know if he could have. I don't. I think he's got more production than what he actually envisioned from these players. Like you got to get a Steelers a shout out over here, man.
Yeah, because when you get rid of big names like that, and you got to recover from it. And I think the moment they drafted Tyrone Elam first, he started to show them the signs of I'm not. And then this is just knowing a person, like knowing your
Right.
users in the league. This is just a head commissioner compliment. I know my users because I really try my best to be in depth, conversation with guys and understand them and things like that. Like, and I just think he always played good with safeties. Like he spent a lot on drafting safeties. Since he's been in our league, he always go after the safeties, and he find the right ones. And then when he find those guys that they might not be the best in the draft, but he find a way to coach them up and turn them
Get the
into
best out of
studs,
him.
yeah, and get the best out of them. So this is a program. I mean, a franchise where if you are a safety, strong safety, free safety, or a guy that can play
You want to
both
get
middle
drafted.
linebackers, you want to go to Pittsburgh. You want to go to
They're gonna
Pittsburgh.
find a way to use you.
Yes, sir. And he
Safeties
balled
and
out, man, because he
linebackers.
kept a career season for Armour Davis. They kept him out of the mix. I mean, he led this thing, but see, that's just again. when you have that type of schedule in the beginning and he caught the type of schedule he needed at the end, it was just who was going to do the best in those games where you're playing a couple of teams that are known for turning the ball over. I know another name on this list, and that I'm looking at 4, Anton Northcutt. I think the Dolphins are finally starting to see development. I think they changed their strength and conditioning coach a little bit over there, and you're starting to see the development of some of these guys that because Anton been there since the first draft class. We're talking about 2023, and he's finally now starting to like really look like he belongs. You know what I'm saying? Like he belongs as one of them top guys to be talking about in the AFC when it comes down to pass rush. But you don't really got to go down this list. I will say this is a good list, but it's not more impressive than the NFC side of things. As far as the
Yeah,
offensive side, I don't know. We could go both back to back, but that defensive side over there for the NFC looked real good and promising because not
it's
only
a
the
lot more
veterans
pass
over there,
rushers on that
yeah,
defense, on that pass rush, on that
hmm
defensive player of the year list. So
hmm
I think what we'd have to do, I think it'll be broken down. We'd have to look closer to evaluate these. We have to
yep,
wait till we get to the D linemen and the DBs of the year because right now the list is showing us that the AFC got better DBs and the NFC has better pass rushers.
right.
But it just like you say, it could be a lot of schedules. So I think that's a conversation to have, but we'll talk about that down the line when we get to the D linemen and the DBs and stuff, man.
Yeah, sure. And with that being
But it's
said, we go into our favorite conversation, and that's those dandies,
like for
right?
Dandy.
Let's look at the offensive rookie of the year. First of all, let's shout out Johnny Pippen. I mean, he looked like he was going to win this award. He did have look. I would say this: if you look at the first 4, right? Because I would look at number 6 before I go to 5, because that was more computer love. Number 6 came on late. All right. And I
Hmm.
think if 6 was playing, the same amount of football that the rest of these guys were playing, since they got into the league, we might be having a different conversation. I'm just gonna put that out there. Now, with that being said,
Maybe not. Them other two,
and
them
the
top two
stats,
guys.
listen, the stats what I'm saying right
Okay.
now backs that
Oh,
shit
you
up
know
right
what?
now.
Touchdowns, touchdowns. That's
And
right.
what I'm saying right now backs that shit up right now. Now,
I got you. I
with
got
that
you.
being said, though,
Facts.
Johnny Pippen not only does he win the rookie award because I think the fact that the Browns was getting blown the fuck out every week, it takes a little bit away from Spencer Cameron. But to have a look, man, when you get a freak like Spencer Cameron at 6'6", big body guy that does everything for this team. I mean, again, we saw him getting jet sweeps, handoffs. We saw him at the damn near at the tight end position. Like he just played everywhere, and he got the ball all the time. But Pippen came on not being the number 1 receiver on that team over there, and he made it. He made his mark. Not only did he make his mark, he turned this franchise around. Like this franchise literally is a one loss away from winning their division for the first time this year. I mean, I think with Johnny Pippen, he played a big part in their win over the Ravens, which gave them their first win over the Ravens in 4 seasons. I think he might have got me before. I'm not 100% sure, and I think he might have beat me before. I know I had a 5-loss season in there. I think he might have played a role in that. I do know we came back from 27 points on this guy before. But Johnny Pippen is a dog, bro. You played him. I played him. I mean, all the guys. And then he played some big time coaches over here, too, like this year. And Johnny Pippen stepped up all year long. I mean, you got to see
Record
him.
alone tells you by itself. The still
Yeah.
best season they've had on here. Pippen was a big part of it because not only offensive rookie of the year, he's one of the top wide receivers. Period. So
Right, right.
I just think that man, it's just a weapon to look out for. You got to really pay it. I think these first couple of guys, a couple of these guys on this list will be big names.
Coming in the future.
Spencer Cameron. Yeah, we know he was just the target over there. Bass has a running mate. Thornton has a running mate over there. The
Hmm.
Chiefs, we're gonna look to see what quarterback they take. Um, I kind of expect to see a little bit from Andrew Brown. We've seen Meek step up late in the season. I believe did he have double-digit touchdowns this year? He
Yep.
he had double-digit touchdowns. I think he had 8 touchdowns at one point. And he was barely playing.
Yeah, I
uh,
think he ended up with like 16 touchdowns or something like that.
16
15
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
I
Um,
think some of these rookies on the list we can really start to see as household names.
yeah, and then I mean, and every look, if you really go down the AFC list, Nathan Crowder did it without Patrick Mahomes. So
Right.
when they get themselves a quarterback, we know this tight end is legit. So they bring a quarterback in, he's gonna
They
be
can
that.
step up.
Yeah. Now, Andrew Brown out of Rutgers is another 6'5" speed guy for the Broncos, but they still, with the computer playing games over there, Harvin Ward was still the guy over there. Um, it's going to be interesting to see what the
That'll
coach
be the
does with
interesting one
Andrew
because
Brown.
that's not his normal type of style.
hmm hmm
Just to see how he actually develops as this program. We know this program had a little down year this year, off year, but
And
as they develop, it'll be interesting to see the development of this guy right here.
and then the next question will say, what happens when Brian Meeks has a full season as a starter? You know what I'm saying? Then you got Brian Bryan, who flat out is the next speed demon to take over for Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill said, "Not so fast, my friend," because Tyreek Hill had a great year this year. And he said, before it's said and done, before y'all push me out the door because of my age, I still have the speed, and I'm not losing my job to this young rookie. But this young rookie played well for the Dolphins. Really good speed too, 98 speed. So you're looking at a 4.2 something, like 4.26 guy, 4.3 guy type shit. Mm-mm-mm. As you continue to go down the list, you already know A.D. Tyson. I think once you get to A.D. Tyson, you stop. Delonte Jackson and Boner really ain't, they just there because there's no other real rookie production going on right now. But if you look at number 8 all the way back up to number 1, they look like they're going to be big time names in this league going forward.
We'll be looking for all these top eight to have storylines next year as well.
hmm
Like we think we'll consider seeing, we will continue to see them, and they'll have big roles for their teams.
Again, when you saw, look, we just showed the AFC diaper dandies on offense, but I'm not so sure that we can ignore the NFCs. Now, I'm gonna say some things here, but I'm gonna talk about it. I think MJ Vick is becoming a superstar in this league, and I think guys aren't paying attention to it
Come out
because
of
it's
a
been
game,
quiet.
and another owner calls their name Michael
Michael
Jordan
Jordan.
Jr.
Mm-mm-mm.
Like what needs to be said, man? What else can you say?
And I've been pushing the envelope on the Cardinals, talking about what's up with that run game over there. Like y'all go get a running back in the first round. What's going on with him? I had an intense talk with him last night. He been really under the weather and shit, and he started to feel a little better. So we kicked it on headset and on the phone yesterday, and he was super ecstatic about Mike J Vick, bro. He like, look, bro, I never had a back like this before, like this, and I had those 1,000 yard receiver, 1,000 yard runner backs. This guy different though. He like, man, I never seen a guy come up out of a pile, breaking tackles, run somebody over, and then go 70 or then go 60. It's a little different here. Um, and I kind of knew that, coming out of college. You saw it already. You just knew if he get to the right program or right franchise, he could be a problem. And I think he's going to be exactly that. Then you got the Drummond kid sitting right here, slot guy, right? Another speed guy over there for the Falcons and that wide open offense over there. It's just interesting to see what he's going to continue to do, how his growth is going to be, what type of football are you going to get out of the ATL Falcons. They're having a down year right now, and I think a lot of that started offensively with the trade of Kyle Pitts. But I do think they're in good hands in that slot position with Greg Drummond. He's another guy. You can't teach speed at the end of the day. All right, fellas, listen. We're on here. I'm gonna probably be on by myself. Going forward in a little bit. Snake got to slide out, but well, just so y'all know, I'm still here. We're still going to do the show. But Greg Drummond, man, little guy, but he got good speed, man, and you can't teach that speed. You seeing what the speed at the receiver position can do for some teams right now, and I think
Max
that
here.
is no short of the Atlanta Falcons.
You know, this
Nicholas
owner over here, he
Atkins.
likes speed. He ain't
hmm
never shied away from smaller receivers as well either.
Mm-mm.
Nicholas Atkins, the Packers,
We looking at
man.
tailback, fullback, whatever. I again, if I had a weapon like this, I would do a lot of things. But again, Max made a big statement on leaving him at fullback. So at the end of the year, he's a Pro Bowler. He
Anthits
goes
should be
off to that
RB one
superstar.
nothing
He
less.
played the long game with him.
Either way, man, let's give a shout out to the Packers for at least finding a way to use them and don't not listening. One thing you always say on these shows, man. Look, my opinions change what you should do. And with Atkins being number 3 on this list, this high on this rookie of the year list, man, we've never seen a fullback this high on the list, man.
And that means a
He got
lot though
14
because
touchdowns and 700 yards. So like, you got to give a shout out to this owner for having a vision and following through with it, and not listening to the outsiders, man. Staying away from the tabloids, man. You got to put your head down and drive through.
And look, with the future, the way football is going, with the future, for him to have a fullback sitting at number 3 on his rookie of the year list, that's major. Because most teams don't even have a fullback number 1 on their team. So for him to, for whatever he saw, it was his decision. He made that decision, and none of us can sit here and say that it was the wrong decision because look at it. I
Has a
mean,
future,
yeah.
period.
And just because he's there now, don't mean he can't. You know what I'm saying? Like he could. Any bottom line, you gave yourself a weapon X.
Yep.
No matter how you're using him, he's productive because he's number 3 on this list. For sure. Um, then you got CP Bacon. Like you got
Crispy
receivers over
bacon.
there, right? You got receivers over there that's making some of these veterans that were dogs. Like Scary Terry, what's the future for him?
Heard he on the block, man. He
Yeah,
asking for out of
he went the fuck out of Washington in the
no.
worst way. Mm-mm.
Crispy Bacon not only got the I think we had a race for the best name of the year,
Right.
the best name in the league between Rumor Has It and Crispy Bacon.
Hmm.
Man, look, let's see who check. Hey, this is a check-in, man. Let me get a league check-in. Which one has a better nickname, Crispy Bacon or Rumor Has It? Man, we're gonna take a tally at the end. Just put it in the chat while we going through here, man. But Crispy Bacon, man.
Make sure y'all hit that like button.
Man, hit the like button and do that, man.
And make sure
Just
y'all
tell
hit
us.
y'all screenshots and send that fact that y'all watching the show over to Max. I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave it up to guys that's not watching it now. You're gonna have up until 7:30 tonight to be able to still hit the
Crispy
like
bacon
button
for
and
sure.
screenshot and send it to Max because 2 shows ago it was supposed to be a gift show. Well, a show ago it was supposed to be a gift show, but we closed it out without giving y'all instructions. So the instructions for the day to get that gift
Bacon.
will be for you to hit the like button, screenshot that you watching the show or you watch the show and you have up to 7:30 to watch the show, and then send it over to Max and we'll get to it over there. Boone got a nice
Crispy
little tight end
bacon.
here. This tight end came out a little undersized. Some thought he was a receiver. He actually was a real tight end, but he came out real small, 220 something pounds, 6'2". But Boone did a great job of using him all year because he didn't
6'3",
use
yeah.
him with his hand in the dirt, right? He had him, spread out tight end in that offense over there. So I think we're going to see a little bit more from him. I think they still need to go get them a big inline tight end that can block and run routes. And they got themselves, a guy that, is kind of like a slot receiver in a sense, the way they use him. But they did a good job of, taking advantage of the fact that he could be a mismatch when he's standing up as a slot receiver more than hand in the dirt tight end. So shout out to, Deontay Clement. You got Carl Gore, who's doing his best impression of trying to take over for Kyle Pitts. It's going to be some work there. You got Young Cannon, Geechee Gotti, Paul Peak, a bunch of receivers, and then tight end Nat
That
Harbor, who, in my
Harbor.
opinion, should be higher on this list. Because he really a game changer for the football or the Commanders. That guy, and he's not even their number 1 tight end, but the things he did, he kind of reminded me of A.D. Tyson this year, playing in the backup role, but still produced big time in the touchdown category. So there you have it right there. Like you said, rumor has it, Nat Harbor should be higher on this list right now. Defensive Rookie of the Year right now goes to Shaquille Armstead. Who is Shaquille Armstead?
Man, once again, I think we said it before. Shout out to them Giants, that new ownership over there for coming in doing this thing and bringing in some of his own players, man. Shaquille Armstead is a strong safety, undersized strong safety, 5'10", 209 pounds, had 67 tackles, a tackle for loss, 8 picks, 4 deflections this season, man. As a rookie undersized safety, that's big play, man. That's man.
This is the Giants bringing in their pieces finally, and
Yep.
the more they continue to bring their pieces in, the more comfortable this team will be, matching up with guys on the field. So Shaquille Armstead to be able to win this award is big time for the Giants, man. It tells me that they're doing something right now. Merton Hanks Jr. is on this list. You got James White, the linebacker, Gio Adams, Alex Vicks. These are, remember Tim Trapp, I just spoke with him,
Linebacker,
Eddie
outside
McCord, Swing
linebacker,
Wagner, a
Gio.
bunch of linebackers, right? You got a whole bunch of linebackers on this list
Man,
too. Cornerback
linebackers
Overeem,
and
man,
pass rushers.
Jermaine
Shit.
Porter, another linebacker. So the NFC looks like they, getting depth at that linebacker position. Uh, in the NFC right now. So you got some pass rushers as well. When you look at Trap, that might be the name you want to really pay attention to more than anything next year. And then also you come down again. The fastest linebackers that came out the draft was Swing Wagner and Eddie McCord. So we
I
want to
think
see.
Gio Adams too. He's that defensive end in the 49ers that took over for Bosa.
Bosa, okay, all right.
Right. You expect to see a couple of 49ers up there. They went pick heavy. It's
Mm-hmm.
good to see at least two of them up here. Like that should be a young upcoming team getting
Yes,
it
sir.
together.
I mean, they went one game over 500, so it looked like it's working out for them right now. See how it goes. All right, defensive rookies over here in the AFC. You got Von Cooper, you got Brian Stokes, you got Damian Holiday. Are these all three secondary guys? I think Von Cooper might be a
I know Stokes is. I'm going to go look at
Holiday.
Von
Definitely play
Cooper.
corner. I know that for a fact. The two, remember we talked about these two guys with the twin faces and shit, long neck guys, Von Cooper and Holiday. I
I
know
was going to go
George.
so well here. Cooper's a safety. I
Okay.
was going to go. What I was getting ready to say is, and now I'm double checking. And now I'm for sure. Like some of these guys are not even on trait. They're stars. Von Cooper's a safety, 6'4", 215, star safety.
Mm-hmm.
Go check if Stokes was Stokes a star too. Um, and I'm just doing that because I just want just some people to see. Well, he got him up to superstar. Brian Stokes, a cornerback. I just stop at Vaughn. Like you can still get production. Shout out to the Bills. Not being scared to play a guy that's not on trait. The top defensive player of the year. I mean, top guy over here in the AFC is only on star.
Yes, sir. Putting in the work. He's another guy that play well with safeties. They do a lot of safety drafting, and they do a good job with using those safeties too, man. Especially when you get the big boys, 6'4", 215 and above. You can do a little bit
Right.
of everything with them. So you know how it go. George Glover, the linebacker for the Titans, and solid. Titans is really putting a roster together after those trades they made and the draft they had last draft. They
Titans
looking like a roster
played
right now.
some big games this year. Boy, had a
Yeah.
lot of games. He wasn't in a lot of how should I say the growing pain. He was a little bit past the growing pains. Wasn't getting blown out. He was actually in some nice big games this year, man.
Yeah.
Like to see them trying to hopefully step and turn in that corner. They brought in some nice vets and some young rookies over here.
Yep, and they had a better season, man. They upset some guys especially in their division. They played better division football. That makes the big difference of everything right now. Let's go to best quarterback in the AFC. Justin Herbert wins this award. Justin Herbert. What more can you say about Justin, man? I mean, he's the most accurate quarterback in the league. Doesn't really turn the ball over, and he gets his team in position to always be, there at the end for a win. Two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, looking to get his third right now. So Justin Herbert wins
Oh,
that award. He
goddamn.
holds Lamar Jackson off with the most passing yards in the league. I think he finished first with the passing yards in the league. Um, and if you look at some of these names on this list, man, the quarterback play in the AFC is solid. It's really good actually. You go down all the way
That'd be
to
great.
10, and like you know what I
Anytime you
mean.
don't see,
Where,
great.
my question is, you got. How about Matt Corral as the new Bengals quarterback over Joe Burrow? What happened with Joe Burrow? And will we see another? Will we see a late like a Patrick Mahomes or like an Aaron Rodgers when it comes down to Joe Burrow go to another team and then get back to being great?
And all I can say is Joe Burrow is too good a quarterback to be on his bench, so somebody need a quarterback.
Hmm.
But we
Yeah,
got a good idea. We already taking side bets. Vegas already got the bets in where he's going next year. But I'm just saying,
man. Yes, sir.
Vegas ain't final.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, I like the AFC quarterbacks. How about the NFC quarterbacks? Because we got some good names on this list as well. Kyler Murray wins that award again, best
Gotta
quarterback.
give the Seahawks a shout out, man.
Mario
You don't
James.
expect to see him second on this QB list at all. For as much as we call him a runner, You gotta get. I know he missed the playoffs, but that's I'm gonna call that a growing pain, man. Well, I'm impressed to see the Seahawks quarterback Mario James #2 on this list, man,
I
along with Hopkins up here, man.
I expected him to be there when you got the receiver was up there for awards itself right now. When you look at their receiver over there, I mean they had a good year throwing the football. No matter how they threw the football, they had a good year doing it. So I'm remember this
Expect
is
to see him
another
number
team.
two though.
Look, 2 and 3. Hopefully, no. I'm sorry, not two
Two
and
and
three. The Packers and the Seahawks probably shuffled through more quarterbacks than any teams in the league. At one point, the Seahawks were on the same path as the Packers, where they drafted 2, 3 quarterbacks in a row. I think they got their man though, Mario James. He's the man over there now. So, and you see him second on this list. Alex
big
Hopkins.
off season.
You pitch them.
Um,
I don't even think they need to pit more weapons, or maybe go get one more. But I
I
think they
just
just
think
need to continue to
just tune
protect
things
them.
up a little bit, but I like to see them. It's good to see them attempt to develop. This just tells me that they're developing more than just their running game, man.
Right,
That's all. Period,
right,
hands down. And
right.
I just think that's just good to see, man. Just like we give some shout outs, you gotta give them a shout out for developing that.
Hmm.
Just like you see the Giants on here, #3. The new coach, he Giants full year under the system. He make the playoffs, and he has his quarterback #3 on this list. I mean, that's he doing something right over there, man.
Something being done right. Let's look at the running back game in the NFC though. Najee Harris takes this award. They
Uh-oh.
finally knocked Kenneth Walker the third off the list for the last couple of years. Najee Harris. Snake, what has he been for you?
He just bringing that veteran presence over here, and man, he just boy here, Bruiser. He 242. I
Yeah.
mean, need I say more?
You got. I mean, if you really take a look at this running back list, it's not a bad running back list from one. Let's go far all the way down. You look at Miles
I
Sanders,
mean,
Derrick Henry, Tony Dorsett. You got Dylan Geist, Rashad
everybody
White,
with the exception of Dorsett,
MG
really,
Vick,
like,
DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Walker, Barkley. Like you got resurgence of careers with Najee Harris and Barkley, right? Kenneth Walker, just Kenneth
yeah.
Walker. He does what he do. Swift has always been in the mix. MJ is trying to put his name in the hat as y'all gonna know who I am
Man,
before it's all said and done. I mean, Rashad White did it. They did it for two different teams, Bucks and the Chicago Bears. Now they literally improved the Bears running game. Geis has been the man since last year, since he stepped into the league. I would say, there was only one other running back that came out of that rookie class better, and that was C.J. Cummings. As far as production wise, right now, you got Derrick Henry still on this list. I mean, the running back list is legit over here, but the king of that list right now is Najee Harris. Right now, he not only has his team playing at a high level, they are in the playoffs again, and he's the bell cow of that offense over there. So I mean, when he's gone,
Yo
it's hard to
guys,
really
check
stop
this
this
out.
team.
My business will donate 100 to the SB winner. Only if SB is played by Thursday night.
that guy Falk had to say something in that bitch.
Nah, that was motherfucking loose. He like, man, get this shit hit. I'm trying to drive. Fuck that. By Thursday night, Super Bowl winner, hundo. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
We gonna make sure we gonna get that thing, trying to get that thing rolling. There y'all go. Uh-oh, guys gonna be locked in. Let's go. All right, so shout out
This
to
AFC
Najee
running.
Harris
Oh,
right now, man. AFC running backs, here we go. CJ Cummings wins that
Cummins
award, man. AI #2. Jonathan Taylor's back in the mix. ETN has been, I mean, anytime you got a
hanging
running
on
back
strong.
that catches, almost 100 balls every year, man. Pharrell is back. Jimmy Cook had a great year this year. Morrison for the Jets. I mean, at the end of the day, CJ Cummings look like he really coming. Like, look, man, I'm that guy, and start to pay attention. And the more he continue to keep doing things like he's doing right now, we might have to start looking at, the AFC running back and saying, is he one of the best in the AFC?
His production, I when he start to have that conversation about best in the league,
I've
this is
been down bad
solid
lately,
years
but dirty and hungry
right
will
out of
be back
college.
next
I
season.
think this might be one of the best first picks, period. Like
Yeah,
just production wise.
yeah, nah, he balling, bro. He balling out. All right, best receiver in the AFC, you got Johnny Pippen wins that award as a diaper dandy. Thornton
Mm.
is second, George Pickens. So you got two Steelers in the top
Two
five.
Steelers top three.
Tyreek Hill and Jerry Judy are rounds off the
Oh
top five.
man.
I mean, man, the
Gotta
receiver
give
list is
Spencer
pretty
Cameron
solid
some
over
love
there.
for
Yes,
number 6
sir.
right here, man. Just
Yes,
because,
sir.
man, you gotta give it another diaper dandy. We love to get a rookie's diaper dandy some love, man.
Yes, sir.
Not only that,
And
just what else stand out on this list to me? Not because I see Waddle down here at number 9, having
yes,
two Dolphins
yes,
up here. And you
yes,
got Judy at 5
yes,
with just Warwick at number 7. Calvin
yes.
Austin's resurging with Allen, but I think seeing Waddle at 9 and see Murray at 10, but Waddle at 9 and Tyreek Hill at 4 is impressive to me.
Very impressive. Very
You know,
impressive. Very impressive. And again, and then the Steelers too. So look, we got a bunch of guys that got two
damn,
receivers on this list. You
two
got
up
the
here,
Bills, Steelers,
right?
and the Dolphins all got two receivers on this list. So they did their thing this year. But to have two in the top five is very impressive.
Two in the top
Very
3. What's
impressive.
that? Top 3.
Yeah, two in the top three. 100% right. NFC receivers. Ricky Newman wins this award. Early Bird. You got Landry Irvin. This is why the Giants quarterback is up there. You got a receiver that's number 3 on this list right now, Rondell Moore. So again, you're dealing with Falk and these Cardinals with two in the top five. And then here's the fifth one that I'm more impressed with than anything. Quincy Clayton right here, sitting at 5. Old DK Metcalf still holding on as well. JoJo Galloway, Tutu Atwell get you 3.
Pro
Torrey
Bowl,
Holt, Velas Jones is still in the mix. I mean, you still got some of the old veteran names that been
man.
still running around right now. So,
Got a nice mix of vets and young boys up
yes,
here, man.
sir.
Man,
Yes, sir. So the NFC showing, they could do a little bit of both, man. They got some guys up here. Who wins the offensive lineman award? Terrell Cloud wins that award for the
Bucky
Bucks.
Bucky,
All right, and then the AFC got the best offensive lineman in the league. Period. Eric Jones Israel.
Jones
Nothing to discuss.
Israel,
Nothing to discuss.
Israel.
All right, best D
And we're
lineman in
gonna
the
go check them stats later
AFC.
on.
Anton Northcutt. If they show pancakes, he got
Ooh,
like 60 of them right now. Oh my God, Anton
man.
Northcutt. I told you he's starting to. Some guys might come out as dogs, but they might not. Their career path don't start off the same way as everybody's. But 4 seasons later, this kid is showing why he was a top pick, one of those top picks in the draft. In draft one. And he's
Just
putting
a
the work
quick
in
thing on
right
his
now.
stacks, man. Antoine Northcutt, 74 tackles, 40 tackles for loss, 22 sacks. Um, Fumble
40,
recovery,
40 tackle
40,
for losses, bro. That's huge.
22 sacks, 40 tackles for losses, bro.
He's balling out. Joey
Sheesh,
Bosa's
that's
still
tough.
holding it down at number 2, and David Ajabo, he had a position change this year, and he's number 3 at defensive end. For the first time, he's been outside linebackers, entire career up until now. So Northcutt wins the award. Let's look at the NFC, and their pass rusher goes to nobody but surprised about this, but Mark Barlow wins that award. And just look at Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Then you got Aaron Donald. There's always a Cardinal in the mix, right? Thibodeau been balling out.
Always
Parsons,
normally 2
Turner,
or 3 of
Bosa,
them motherfuckers.
all these guys. I mean, even Devontae Wyatt from
I'll tell you
Georgia is starting to
why.
ball. Nick
Yeah.
Bosa on this list. We got some good names running
I think
around.
the NFC might got the pass rushers, bro. I'm looking
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
list.
yeah.
Back to our conversation before, I think the NFC has some pass rushers hand down.
Yeah, they got it. They got it on Smash. I agree. I definitely
Oh my
agree. How
gosh.
about
It's a
those
lot of teams
linebackers,
with 2
though?
on this list. It's a lot of teams with 2 on it. A couple of teams with 2 on this list too. We used to the Cardinals having 2 or 3.
Yeah,
And we used to the Commanders having 2 a lot of times on there.
yeah, but you
It's a
got
couple
you
of teams with
got
2. I got a
you
couple
got
on here.
Bosa and Donald on that list. You got
Donald, man.
Sweat and Chase on that list.
Chase.
All right, let's look at some of these pass rushers and these linebackers. Outside edge rusher linebackers and middle linebackers. Barno wins this award at best linebacker in the NFC. You got Ernest Jones, a name that probably nobody pays attention to, but he's been on this list every year for the Rams. You got Eli Coleman. He's been a stud since his rookie year. Dawkins, White, Quay Walker. You got Julian Jones, Israel. You got Jamarcus Griffith, Barnett, and N'Kobe Dean. The Eagles always got a whole bunch of linebackers in the mix, man. Their linebackers play well for them, but shout out to Barno for winning this award. And then the AFC, shout out for the guy Barno's modeled this game after, and that's
Yeah.
Adolfo Way. Does it again. And we wasn't even
Mike got
expecting him to go
Mike got the
crazy. But he went crazy. I don't know I think he had I don't think he finished with 20 sacks. I think he had about 18 and a half this year. But
Adolphe.
but he did a lot more. He did a lot more everywhere else. He had a million tackle for losses, INTs, he had touchdowns and shit like that. He
You had him
balled
playing
out.
a little bit of different role though.
Yeah, we
So
had him playing middle
he
linebacker a
expanded
lot
his
this
role.
year. He's doing a little bit of everything right now.
Adolphe over had 38 tackles for loss, 18 and a half sacks. 3 interceptions, 2 deflections, forced fumble recovery,
This might be
couple
the first year where
touchdowns.
Dolphin was under 30 sacks. I'll tell you that. But I will say this: the defense as a whole is playing way better, more than just the Dolphins killing everybody and going crazy. The whole defense playing better. I think the Dolphins' role has lessened because we have more talent around him that can make plays as well. But look at the Dolphins. Again, they're up and coming. Channing Tindall's there. You got Jalen Phillips sitting right there. You got some guys, man. You got Jaguars,
I'm
Trayvon
glad you
Walker.
pointed that out.
You got
Glad you
guys
pointed the
balling, man.
Dolphins out. One thing we said on that the Dolphins need to some developing
Hmm.
on their team. So just like we gave the Packers a shout out for not listening to the tabloids and putting his head down and doing his work, man, you gotta give it a shout out. I think the Dolphins have had somebody almost on every list that let you know they're developing. They definitely had some
Hmm.
diaper dandies out here and everything. They developing their players over there.
We haven't looked at an
A good
awards.
production from the vets
Yeah, we haven't looked at a position award without having them in that
without
top
seeing a
10.
Dolphin.
So they're
Right.
putting in the work right now, man. Let's get to the DBs of the AFC right now. Obviously, Tyrone Elam wins that. Boykins, two. Armour Davis, Derek Stingley. You got
No
Andre
Dolphins.
Cisco who bought. Oh my God. And you got Kyle Hamilton at
Damn.
safety, Brad Hawkins at safety, Marcus Williams, ex-Raven at safety for the
Mm.
Titans. You got O'Neal Scott, who's been a fixture in the league since T took over that team. And then there's Jair Alexander. You start to see the trades or the trades and the draft picks for the Steelers is all putting in work right now. Jair Alexander came over
Hero
in his first couple
hamburger.
of games. He couldn't cover a soul. Now he's a shutdown, like balling out right now. So I like the DBs in the AFC. I do think we win that award when it comes down to the best DBs. Jaquan Brisker and rumor has it 1 and 2. Bears got the number 1 and 2. Shout out to Jaquan Brisker for winning the award. Kyle Joseph, Kelvin Joseph. You got Hunter Fitzpatrick. Blankenship, who's always on this list. Raymond Watts seemed like he always around too. J.C. Horn is in the mix. Okay, you got Andrew Mack
Andre
and
Mack.
Khalid Williams. So the Panthers got a couple of guys on this list. And shout out to the Bears with 2. Who else got 2 on this list? And the Panthers. All right, so 2 DBs from both those 2 teams right now. That's your DB race, fellas. That's how things are headed out. Let's go look at this playoff tree. Snake, this was the year of the beef, right? I mean, usually week 18, it comes down to like week 18 and guys finishing for seeding. Guys said, no, fuck that game. I want to be lined up where I'm at. Let's start here at 4-5 and 4-5 on both sides. Whew. All right, so look, I'll ask you. I mean, it was a little bit of motion in the chat, but is this a beef game right here? Is this one of those, let's get it? It's a revenge game. You got to play again. You did win the regular season game, and now you're traveling to Chicago in the playoffs to go meet the Chicago Bears team after you guys had a little rumbling in the chat. Is this part of that beef conversation we was having earlier?
It wasn't really no beefism. I think it's just man, you know, when you kind of like, uh, how should I say,
Speak your
man,
mind.
this ain't no
Speak your
beefism, man. You
mind.
know, you gotta. I mean, we done seen the Bears a couple of times before. This ain't really no beef. We don't know how they sent them home a couple of times in the playoffs. We just beat them a week before the season was over. I ain't really. That's my boy, but
Y'all ain't really concerned.
it,
He got to come. You traveling to
I'm
Chicago,
going
but
there, but like.
he got to beat you. That's what you pretty much saying.
I know what I got. I know. I mean, we know each other quite a bit. It ain't, you know what I mean. We gonna have a good game. I don't want a couple more games, but a lot of games, our games go down to the wire. We was
Never
in the same
played in
division
the
all
Alls.
last Madden, but
He said he never played you in the Alls, man. What are you talking about?
nigga, you lost twice to me in playoffs. This Madden, you only beat me one. The only time you beat me this Madden is probably that year I was out of town for a week. Go check the stats. You lost to me a couple times in the playoffs, didn't you?
I don't know.
What is you talking about?
Fuck, right? Fuck you talking about, Rob? Out here getting put
You
out by
ain't
the
never
motherfucker.
you
No,
done
I
been
didn't.
hey
He
I done
said
beat you a couple of times in the playoffs. The first 2 or 3 out of the first 3 seasons, bro. I played you every year in the playoffs. What you mean?
he
You and
responded.
Boone.
He responded and said, "No, I didn't. Fuck you talking about? No, I didn't, cuz. Fuck you got me
I
fucked.
think
You
you
got me
and
all the
Boone the
way
first
fucked
couple of
up.
years. But it's cool. We'll
You got
check
me
it.
all the
Ain't
way
no.
fucked up. So now is this
I
game
see you
beef?
tonight. What time we
Yes.
play? What time we playing tonight?
Say
Just let
say
me
no
know what time
more.
you get off tonight.
Say no
I see you
more.
tonight.
There we go. Now the beef is
22.
here. Let's get it. 22. Talking about 22 disc, bro? You
We know how to
talking about
start
22 disc,
Rashad
bro?
White though, bro. I ain't tripping about that. No, we talking about this Madden, this playoffs, this
Uh,
Madden. This ain't your first year making the playoffs. I think I knocked you out the playoffs twice. You can double check though. But we're going to
and
that number
shit.
4 or 5 over there. That Coach Steelers game. This the match everybody want to see, man. This the one.
Boy,
This the match, buddy.
look, I'm just going. Here's my opinion of this. The Steelers did not have a problem with being five. I mean, I'm quite sure they would have loved to win the division. I think they like their path. I think they don't. They think this is what I think about Antonio Todd, his feelings this season. He thinks this.
Ain't no beef. Panthers and
He
Seahawks knock me
thinks
out.
the Colts win was some bullshit. He don't think the Colts beat him at all, and he don't think the Colts can beat him again. And if the stars line up the way he want, I think he wants to go from the Colts to go seeing me. I think his win this year makes him feel like he could beat me. So I think he's right where he want to be at right now. But it starts with the Colts first. That's legit beef right there. Like that's not no. This ain't no. It might be beef. Are y'all beefing? Explain yourself. This is beef right here. And if I'm the Steelers, this is a real beef for me, and I'm doing everything I got to do to win this ball game because you do not want this man to beat you and knock you out of winning the division, and then knock your ass out the playoffs too after the season you had this year. So that's pressure. I don't think it's too much pressure, but that's pressure. And just because you hear him in the chat saying, we want it done every year and this and that, I think he feel different. I think the coach absolutely
He
feel
ain't going
different. He ain't
fishing.
trying to go home
February is
He
right
took
away.
your
Fantasy Year
momentum.
50.
He took that momentum. He coming for. You know what you about to see, Jonathan Taylor.
He got all plus fours and fives on his players after that game and shit, taking that momentum from him. Yes, sir. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm,
But these are beef
man.
games, though, man. Y'all game, he said 8:30. Be there, or be square. Look, when you talk about the Colts and the Steelers game,
Mm.
again, I'm not ready. We're gonna come back on. I think I need Max later on, along with you and Hitter on the show, before we actually give our who gonna win games and all that stuff. But we
I
just talking
think
about
this
the
is an
beef
interesting
matchup.
game just because it is in Indianapolis though.
Yeah, yep, yep,
That
yep.
game, check this out. The game the Steelers lost to the Colts cost them home run through the playoffs.
Mhm,
Wow. If that does not set the tone for this game,
mhm.
well, like you said, we're gonna come back and talk about the matchups and pick'ems and all that
Like
when we talk about the beefs.
you got you got to take a plane ride right back to the team that
Oh
derailed your
God.
season. You know what I'm saying? They
Woo.
literally derailed your season, and you got to take
Mm-mm-mm.
that same fight right back to that shit. Do the same things over again, same hotel, same practice schedule, same fucking food regimen, same nutrition regimen, same everything, same meetings, same
This
room,
not does
all
this
that
not
shit.
does this not give you feelings of the way that Bengals Chiefs game just was in real life though?
Man,
The Bengals talking that trash.
right. Oh my God.
What they call Burrowhead. Oh,
Man, I don't, man. This is big.
with that being said, man, you look at that 3-6 matchup
That's another beef
for their
matchup.
Week 18 game. They said we want Buffalo first round.
This nigga said, I'm not playing you."
We ain't even suiting up. We ain't getting on a plane. We sending a replacement.
I don't even know how this beef started because the Bills ain't talking shit. The Bills are scared as a motherfucker to have to play this game. He ain't want nothing to do with this game. Nah, play that game. Don't give him a first win. What you doing? Max started this fucking beef right here. Max started this beef between T and Brandon by saying, "Didn't he beat you by 50? Did he hang 50 on you?" And T said, "Fuck that Week 18 game. I'll see that nigga in the playoffs." And I could not convince nephew to play that game. He was, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, we could just play a statty game, whatever you want to do. Let's just play." Nah, Unc, you got it. I'm gonna whoop his ass. Oh my God, this is big right here,
Man,
man. Because not only did the Patriots is putting pressure on themselves, this is big right here, man. This is huge. This is a huge game right here, man. Because I do think Brandon comes into this game a little bit more confident than he has been because he did beat him by 20,
Best this year. He beat him one
and,
time. Josh Allen
yeah,
resurgence.
yep. And before that, it was looking bad. He was getting his ass whipped, and it was looking bad. He found a way to pull out a dub in the regular season and shit, and made this a fight all the way to the end when it come down to the AFC East. So I don't think Brandon comes into this game a shook one, man. I don't think he's singing Mob Deep songs. I think he come into this thing a little bit more confident. And, I do know this. It's going to be fireworks in this game. If you don't watch this game, you just don't like football, and you just stupid. Pay attention because they gonna shoot it the fuck out. That's all. What I do know is that's gonna be a shootout over there because he got Josh Allen playing well and Mike Cubbage is literally one of the best quarterbacks over the last 2 seasons, and he just do what he want in the passing game as well. And they got that running back that got the running back of the war over there too. So we're gonna see. That's gonna be fireworks over there. How about this?
And
This
it's
is
hard to play a person 3 times in a year,
it's
man.
very
That's
hard,
a
bro.
tough.
Very hard.
Two things are hard. Playing it 3 times in a year and then playing somebody when you play them like week 16, 17, 18, and play them again
So playing
first
right
round
away
in the
again.
playoffs.
Yep.
So that's be an interesting matchup.
And that's what we
Talk
getting
about
with the two games we talking about in the AFC. You got the Colts
all these
and the
games.
Steelers just
I
played
mean,
each
all
other.
3 games we talked so far. All these teams. I just played the Bears a week ago.
hmm
Uh, the Colts and Steelers just played a week or so ago, and it's
hmm
the third time for
The
Patriots
Patriots and
and
the Bills.
Bills.
Yep. How about 3 versus 6
Number
over
three
here?
and six in the
I'm gonna tell you
NFC.
here's the
I think
thing.
the Giants playing with house money
Yeah,
because you got
because
a
it's a
new
trap,
coach and ownership.
flat out trap game, bro.
Trap game.
Flat
I
out
think the
trap
Giants
game.
might even be. They might even feel might be a little bit ahead of schedule. I think most might say might be a tad bit ahead of schedule. And for them to be number 6 seed, like I think this is a shout out
Look,
to make.
this is what I'm gonna say. Max can do his homework. Will do his homework. All Max know about every team in the league, and it's not because he just watching film and shit. It's just as his new role as a commissioner, he just pays attention to everything. So he knows some of the Giant, but it's one thing planning and knowing or watching some of his games. You got to play it, and I just think this is a game that is a trap game because they don't play each other a lot, and they probably haven't even played each other at all. This. So this is a trap game for the Panthers for sure. And I think the Giants is going to come out there and let it hang. I don't think he has nothing to lose right now because he's ahead of schedule. I don't think he even expected to be in the playoffs this year, and the fact that he's there is like, well, we're here. Let's send somebody home. Let's do something that nobody expects us to do. So this is the trap game, and then you look at 2 versus 7. This is if I'm Shoguns.
I think first of all you gotta give Guns credit because he did end of the season he was back and regardless of him making it in the 7th seed or not, he at least did make it in the playoffs. But I think as much as he been called out, but I think it's time for the Lions to step up. We heard some other users say he got the best quarterback over there and everything. I think Guns can go ahead and be a statement game for these Lions.
And
It has to be.
this game could go either way.
Well,
I
he
will
can go
say
either
this:
way.
the Commanders been playing lights out football all year. They in a nice little zone,
I
right?
said statement game for the Lions. I didn't say I was picking the Lions. I
Right.
ain't picking either one of them. So I'm just saying from that organization standpoint, they was getting called out. But he came out and said, "Look, I'm playing my game this year. I'm here. I'm gonna be in there. So you got to start with giving him some flowers because he in the playoffs. He made it. Period. Hands down. Good job.
And he can go into this game. He could travel into Washington and win the ball game. It's not like
Definitely.
this
I
is
mean,
a 7 seed that you're looking at that don't have the roster, that don't have the talent, and that this is a sure bye week for the Commanders. This game is just as hard for the Commanders as if he was playing the Panthers, the Bucks, the Bears, or the Cardinals. To be honest with you, this is going to be an interesting matchup, and to me, I would put all my shine on this game. I would make this the game of the week right here. Washington Lions. Washington Lions, big time. Now on 2-7 on the other side, Craig called this. He
man,
said, "If I got to play anybody, I'd rather play Hoodie, or no, I'd rather play the Bills." But he got Hoodie. Now his record versus Hoodie in the playoffs and regular season is a little bit lopsided there. So
yes.
I think he'll be comfortable playing the game, period, right? But out of his own mouth, he said, you got to beat the best to be the best. So let's line up. What team
Both of these
pops up
guys
if you're
have
dealing
ring
with the Dolphins and the Chargers?
Chargers.
What hoodie team pop up? Because if the team that got players on every award race known to man, if those guys all play good, it could be interesting. And I do know this: the Dolphins, if they don't do one thing well on defense, they do give you a problem when you're trying to run the ball on them. But when you're looking at the Chargers, they don't rely on the run at all like they used to. Uh, Later, yeah, a little later, they got practice. So yeah, so the Chargers think they can line up and throw the ball. If their run game ain't working, they're comfortable with throwing the ball, right? So it's a good game right here. I don't think there's a game that on this list right now that's not a good game. That's what the playoffs do. That's what the playoffs do for us. Gives us good games. Look, we're gonna come back. I know we'll better get another show in before guys start actually playing their games in the playoffs, and we're definitely gonna come back and give our pick'ems and what games are and this and that. Remember, man, hit the like button. Show that you hit the like button. Send your screenshot to Max so I can hand out those gifts that I promised for the last gift of the season. Other than that, Snake and Ant, we out of there. Oh, get y'all fucking rosters right. I'm telling you now. Don't think you playing a playoff game with your roster fucked up. I'm telling you right now.